So, Matthew, what's our icebreaker today?
Yup.
Our icebreaker is, would you rather be a member of the Avengers or Justice League?
Avengers, no question.
Yeah, Avengers.
I don't know. I like both. I think I might go Avengers. Who's your favorite superhero in the Avengers?
Iron Man. Tony Stark is a dog.
What's yours?
I'm going to have to go Thor.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Iron Man too.
Like, I think if I was making like a top, it'd be Iron Man. Spider-Man's pretty high up there.
I forgot about Spider-Man.
Like, I can't wait for the new Spider-Man movies to come out. Like,
Dude, every Spider-Man movie's a banger.
Yeah,
like
like,
every single one.
All right,
single
favorite Justice League character?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman, that's obvious.
Wonder Woman. What are y'all talking about?
Bro.
No way. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Welcome
guys?
back. Episode 5 of the 412 Leadership Podcast.
Five.
Yup.
5. And we're coming in hot off of last
Oh,
episode where we went in to detail about everything we talked about. Talking about kind of just what it, a lot of different things.
Yeah.
How to lead in our culture today specifically. But we went over a lot of different things. And it was a great episode. We talked about a lot. Today, we've got another banger for you guys.
We got some more real
We
talk
got
for y'all.
things that make a good Oh my goodness. Things that make a good young leader.
Yep,
today.
that's 10 things that make a good young leader. So all of you note takers, go ahead and start taking notes because we got 10 things. Actually, we
We
got
got 12 things. 12.
We have 12.
There you go. 12. So scratch that. 12 things that make a good young leader. So number 1, be a learner. And this is something that I've learned from a lot of other people like John Maxwell, Chad Veach. They talk about, in order to be a good leader, you've got to be able to learn well, because if you can't learn and take things from other people on how to do things the right way and you do things on your own, things probably aren't going to go too well.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like math. I mean, if you only know addition, then you're not going to survive as a freshman,
And especially if you
or in
can't,
high school.
yeah, if you can't learn new things, you're not going to go past where you already are.
Yeah.
You got anything
It's
on that?
it's just like watching people, like watching your leaders and seeing what they do and just like listening and like being there
Yeah.
and like asking questions if you need to, just like
Yeah.
learning from them.
Chad Veach kind of talked about in one of his, like, you've got to be a follower before you can be a leader. Like, if you can't, he said, show me how good of a follower you are, and I'll show you how good of a leader you are.
Yeah.
Number 2, be humble.
And this is a really important one. We kind of talked about it a little bit before, but just, you've got to be able to understand that you haven't made it yet. And especially when you're starting out as a young leader, like, you've got to understand that a humble heart is the best way to grab the people that you're going to be leading.
I mean, like, what even is the definition of humble? I feel like that's like a really, what do you call it? Like a very,
Open.
it can be taken in so many ways.
Yeah.
Having or showing a modest or low estate of one's own importance. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we said yesterday, is like learning how to take that feedback from other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Being a servant.
that kind of
Yeah,
goes with being a learner. I mean, you have to be humble to learn.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. It's like, don't be prideful for the position that God put you in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to make sure you're putting others above yourself. And, just realize that you're not leading to make yourself better. You're leading to make other people better, and you'll grow. And just being humble is really important because, if you have that big ego, you're not going to go where you want to go. It's going to hold you back.
Yeah.
And when I first heard this, note, it reminded me of when the sign in the back of the auditorium, when it says, when pride walks on, God walks off.
Yeah. One thing, Chad Veach again, I'm going to mention him a lot today, guys, because I have a lot of notes from Chad Veach. He said, this. He said, "There is nothing worse than an arrogant young leader."
Yeah.
You can't be arrogant. You've got to be, making sure that you understand people around you and just be open-minded to them. And he also said this. He said, if you don't figure it out, he said you need to figure it out now so that you don't get punished by it later. Mm-hmm. So if you can't humble yourself now, it'll hurt you later on down the road.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, Gabe.
Got you. Have a great attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another one of those important things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes with being humble. I mean, you have to have a good attitude to learn and to take that information people are trying to give you, because if you give them a bad attitude, then nobody's going to want to give you advice.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
And like a negative leader won't influence anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. Chad Beach again said it this way: your attitude will reflect your leadership. Mm-hmm. So if you have a bad attitude, more than likely you're probably not a very good leader. Mm-hmm. And he also said that if you can't control your attitude, then it's going to become a monster. So if you have a bad attitude and you can't get control of that thing, it's going to tear you apart.
Yeah.
And so you got to just make sure you stay positive. Surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you, and make sure that you're always, looking at it the right way. We talked about it last week, having a pure heart and a good heart, part of being a good young leader in our culture. It goes the same here. You've got to make sure that you have that good heart and that your attitude is where it needs to be, because your bad attitude will show, and your attitude means everything. If you don't have a good attitude, people aren't going to want to listen to what you're saying.
And people are surprised by, you don't notice that your attitude is changing, but other people definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people are always watching.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you think it's no one's around, no one's watching, and you have a bad attitude to someone, there's always someone watching.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, there is this fly in here that will not go away.
Yeah.
Let's see, number 4, be a hard worker. Have a good work ethic. And this is, your work ethic is going to reflect you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to be around a lousy leader. They want to be around somebody that's going to work hard and that's going to set a good culture of, making sure that things get done.
And if you're a real young leader, you don't need to get asked for something to get done.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You do it just to do it.
Yeah.
And you do it not wanting attention, if that makes sense.
And the influence that you'll have when other people see you working hard, they'll be like, I want to work hard too.
Yeah.
I want to.
We got two dimes right here from Chad Beach. First of all, work is a gift from God. It's not something that should be dreaded, because God has given us the ability to work hard, and we should treat it as if we're working hard to lead and build up God's kingdom. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that this is also coming from Chad Beach. You can't be somebody that has $1 million dream and a $100 work ethic.
Yeah.
You've got to, if you're going to dream big, you've got to be able to work harder than you're dreaming, because nothing's going to happen if you don't put that into place.
Yep.
It's big time. You got to work hard, and it's better to develop your work ethic right now, because if you can work harder than anybody right now as a young leader, when you get older and you're already that high up in your work ethic, it's going to be so much easier.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Number 5, be someone with a great character. That kind of ties in with number 3, have a great attitude.
Yeah.
But, your character reflects you, like we said, your attitude.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, your character is a little more important than your attitude, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about it last week, being respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that, people, because like we said last week, people want to be around somebody that has a great character and respects others.
Yeah.
They want that person to be their leader. And so, having a great character is being respectful, working hard, showing up on time to things, learning how to control yourself. It's all goes into it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just let Jesus shine through you, through your character. Let others see Jesus through you, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to go with number 6?
Yeah, I got you. It's be authentic.
Authentic.
Don't be fake, guys.
Yeah.
Don't be a fake friend. Don't be
Yeah.
fake.
You've got to be yourself if you're going to be a leader, because if you're going to have people that you want to be influenced by you and following you, then you've got to act like yourself, because if you're acting like somebody else, it's leading them on, and you're saying, you know,
like we said,
this is what you should do. You can't go do something else.
like we said last week, to stop comparing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and like make your own path and let God lead it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I might have something else here from Chad Beach, guys. I think I've already said this on another episode.
Hashtag sponsored not by Chad Beach.
For real. About being authentic. I'm trying to find it. Or no, I didn't say this already, but here we go. It's really good. Where'd it go?
Well, while he's finding that, we're doing pumpkin painting tonight with my nephew. We're not even carving, we're painting.
For real?
Yeah.
Wait, Felix Michael?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Like 2.
Well, I think I lost it, guys.
Oh,
I'll keep
okay.
looking for it. But, you know, number 6, for sure. You've got to be authentic, be yourself, you know. You got to be, can't be fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7. Oh, I just deleted it. Oh my gosh. I might have just got rid of one of our points. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Make yourself available. All right. That's what it was.
I think I've said it before. Your availability is your best ability. You can't be a leader and turn your people down that you're trying to influence, because that draws them away from you.
You have to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
That people can call you and they'll know you'll do it. If you keep saying no to something, then they're not going to ask you again.
Yeah. And it's just like make a habit to say yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid to say no. But like, and then
We'll get to that soon.
Like, always be willing to help and go the extra mile when you do help.
You can't be a lousy leader and only lead on, you know, your, I guess it wouldn't be work hours, but like, you can't only lead when it's time to lead. You've got to lead behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You've got to be the guy to, you know, hey, reaching out to people like, hey, how you doing? Or if they call you, or if they're like, hey, I need to talk to you, be like, yeah, for sure. Because good leaders are the ones that connect the most and that are always available and showing that, hey, you know, I care. Like, those are the people that people want to, like, have as their leader. They want to be around somebody that's always available and always worried about them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Number
8.
Set a standard for yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, you have to have standards. I mean, they're kind of like goals. Like you have to, if you want to keep going higher and higher as a leader, you got to set a goal for something. And so maybe it's like, or a standard. You got to be like, one of them is going to be, hey, I'm going to make a new friend today.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your standard for the day.
And
just keep getting more and more as you go.
for sure. Leadership is not about being perfect. It's just about meeting the standard that you set for yourself and making sure that, you know, you're not falling under that standard, because standards are great. You've got to, in order to be great, you have to meet your goals that are great.
Mm-hmm.
And don't set your standard too low. I mean,
set the bar high for yourself.
Yeah.
You got to just make sure that you...
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Just ask yourself how you can get better every day, and just keep building on it.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, with that, you know, also you've got to make sure that you can have high standards, but you've got to make sure that it ties in with work ethic. You've got to work hard enough to get there. You can't have the feeling of like, hey, I've got these high standards and I'm doing this, like I'm entitled. You've always got to keep your head down and just keep grinding and leading and working and setting a high standard to make sure that it keeps you in check. Like you just said, you can't set a too low of a standard, because once you meet that standard, it's like, man, I'm here.
Yeah, you don't want to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You want to do the best you can.
Yeah. Chad Beach said, if you can't put it on the 6 o'clock news, then why are you doing it? If it's something that people aren't going to care about, then, you know, you shouldn't be doing it. Do things that matter, things that are going to make you a better person, and don't do things that are like, hey, you know, this guy dropped a bunch of stuff, I helped him pick him up. Like, pick it up. Like, be the guy before he drops it to be like, hey, you need help carrying that?
That's good.
All right. Number 9. Be vocal. Don't be shy.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Don't be shy. Be vocal and don't be shy.
You got to speak up as a
Yeah.
leader.
I mean, you're not a leader if you don't
Yeah.
lead. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, I'll put it this way. A general of an army can't lead his army unless he's very strict of what he wants and what he needs them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying be like a general, like all that. I'm just saying like you need to lead your people by talking and not by being shy. Like we said, like availability. Like if you're not talking and if you're not leading your people, then why are people going to come back to you?
No doubt. You've got to be a good communicator. If you're not a good communicator, you can't be a good leader, because if you're not talking to your people, then how are they going to know anything?
I mean, nowadays, like, there's people used to tell by like your body language and stuff now.
Yeah.
Or back then, but like now in our generation,
You've got to say it.
yeah, you got to say it. Like people just can't assume because they might get the wrong. What do you call it? Wrong. Oh my goodness.
Picture.
Yeah, the wrong picture, the wrong. Oh my goodness.
The wrong understanding.
Yeah, like they'll
Yeah.
understand wrong. So, I mean, the wrong impression. That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Just don't be scared to talk. Like, and if you're still learning, like taking notes from your leader, just ask questions.
You learn by
Oh, yeah.
mistakes. I mean, if you say something wrong, and make it clear to your team or whatever you're leading, just be like, hey, if I offend you or if I do something wrong, tell me so I can fix it next time.
Because nobody's going to be perfect. We're all going to mess up. And going back to what you said, asking questions. Leaders, it ties in with learning. Like, you have to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to learn more than what you already know, and you're never going to go anywhere from where you're at. Like, there's a level that you can get to without learning anything, but you're never going to go past that level if you're not consistently learning, communicating, asking questions. Like, it's not even just learning about the people that you're leading, it's learning about yourself. You've got to learn, like, hey, this is what I do good, this is what I don't do good. And you've got to communicate that and be vocal and be like, hey, like, I know I'm going to mess up. I need you guys to tell me so that I can fix it. And if you don't do things like that, then you'll never go anywhere, because you've got to make sure that you're communicating well. You can't be shy. Like, a shy leader isn't going to get you anywhere, because, it's just like you can't duck behind the shadows. You got to be in the spotlight and getting the work done.
Yeah, I have this teacher every 6 weeks at the end of the semester. She makes us she makes us sign or fill out this form, and it's a list of questions of what you like the best about her class, what needs to be fixed, and what we should do again. So I mean, I think that's great, because you're getting. I would say a teacher is pretty much a leader. I mean, she's teaching a bunch of people, and I mean, like, you're giving that person feedback, even though she knows that this is her job, and no matter what it is, she's gonna get paid.
Yeah, exactly. And she could really just be like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care what y'all think. I'm gonna keep doing it my way. But she's asking for feedback and making her students feel like their opinion matters.
Yeah.
You've got to give your people that you're leading a chance to feel like, hey, he really cares about, or she really cares about what I'm trying to do, and like what needs to be done wrong, and like you have to be vocal about it, because if you're not vocal, people will never know if you care or not.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm looking at the book here on the counter, and it says "Stay in your lane." This is perfect. If you haven't watched episode 4, listen to it. Go right now, and you'll know what "stay in your lane" means.
Oh, that's actually kind of creepy. I didn't realize that.
Perfect timing.
All right,
number 9 or number 10.
Gabe,
walk what you talk. So just like,
what's that
be
song
about
say?
it. Like,
Walk it like I talk it. Me. Be about what you say. Like, you can't be a different person off. I don't want to say off camera, but like, you can't be a different person in private than you are in public.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, you've got to be the same, because people don't want an inconsistent leader. They don't want somebody that's going to preach it in front of them, and then they go and do the opposite. Like, you've got to.
People say you don't want to meet your celebrities because they act different on stage. And they can be complete jerks off stage, and you don't want to fall into that. What do you call it? Like that mentality.
Yeah.
You want to you want people to know that you are the same on public and in private.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ties it right in there with character, and like you've got to be the same person through and through, or else people aren't going to care. It's really a credibility thing. You can't have any credibility if you're doing the opposite of what you say you're doing constantly. Like the biggest part of leadership is influence and credibility. If you don't have credibility, nobody's going to want you to lead them because you're known for being inconsistent and not doing what you say you do. Like, you've got to walk what you talk. Like, if you say that this is how you're going to live, you better live that way, or else people are going to be like, I'm not listening to anything he says because
he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, like he's just reading that off of somebody else.
Yeah, it's you're being a hypocrite.
Yeah,
you're telling people to do one thing and you're not even doing it.
It's like what our good friend Christopher Flagg had that message about: be about the Father's business.
Yeah,
like in public and in private. Like,
no doubt.
Why do you need to worship in public differently than you do in private? So why can't you raise your hands in private, but you can raise your hands in public? Like, why are you worshiping God differently in public?
Yeah.
I mean, he means the same and it always is the same. He's never going to change.
Because your lies will build up over time. Like, if you say one thing and you do something else and then you keep doing that, it's going to build and build and build until you get to the biggest stage, and it's like everything this person said, like lying and not walking what you talk, like if you do it at a certain point, like if you've done all these things and you finally crack, everything that you've done is no longer going to matter because you just messed up. And it's pressure.
I mean, yeah.
But pressure is going to build you up.
Excuse me.
It's reality.
It's the reality is that if you don't walk what you talk and you mess up way down the line and you've already done so much, they're going to be like, does anything that he said, is that really true?
Yeah.
You've got to make sure that you are doing what you're saying. And honesty is the best policy. They say that.
All right.
And it's hard. Like, it's not easy, but you have to. Like, it's just a part of it. That's why it's important
to have people around you.
Yeah. All right. Number 11. Know when to say no.
Yep. Which ties back to our earlier point. Make yourself available. But there's just there's a point to where
you can't keep saying
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. There's points where you've got to learn to say no to some things, and it also goes with walking what you talk. Like, you've got to learn that there's some things that you're going to be invited to, and that people will, because your friends aren't going to all be perfect, and they're not all going to have those same standards as you, and they're going to try to get you to do stuff and invite you to stuff. You've got to learn when to say no, and also why to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you said, like being a sergeant or like a general. Yeah. What kind of leader are you if you're not setting a standard, like making it known, like you're not supposed to be doing this, you can't do this?
Yes. Yep. All right. Number 12 and the last one. Take a break. You need to take a break.
That's big.
I mean, you got to think about it. You don't want to get burnt out.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to say, take a break before you get burnt out.
Yeah.
If you're burned out, then you're not going to want to lead. You're just going to be tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to take that mental break. Like today, like I do help a lot with our production team at our church and stuff. And this week was just really hard. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to have to call in today because I just could not. And I mean, that's completely fine. I mean, like, people understood.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing to take a break. That's what we got to understand. Like you said, you can't get burnt out, or else, because if you're not taking breaks, if you're not, making sure that you're well rested, like, if you're not doing that, that's when you start to crack and crumble, and those are when it gets hard. Those are when things go, and that's when things can go wrong, because you're gonna crack and crack and crack and crack until eventually, boom, huge mistake. So you've got to take breaks. You've got to make sure that you are well rested, that your mind is right. You've got to get back into, habits and make sure that you stay on schedule and just make sure that you're always consistently taking breaks and not getting burnt out, because also getting burnt out makes you not want to do it anymore. And it's like, do I really care about this? And you don't want to fake it, you know, like we said, staying true, being honest. Like, you've got to take breaks or else you're going to really be like, you know, yeah, I enjoy what I'm doing, but not anymore. Like, I can go say this stuff, but I'm not going to mean it.
Like, it was fun at first. Like,
yeah, now it's like, it seems like not necessarily a job, but like something you want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it? Like, when you're tired, like, you know, that's when your attitude comes out. That's when your anger comes out. That's when all these things can go wrong. And it's just going to affect you differently than when you're fully awake. You're, like, there, you know what I mean?
And that's why you got to take a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's easy, but it's also hard because you don't want to take a break. But, you know, at the same time, it's good for you. And you got to trust the people around you to do their jobs while you're on a break.
Yeah.
I've got one more thing to add. It's not on here, so now we can make this 13 things that make a young leader. And I guess we should have talked about this with being humble, but also, like, you've got to, I mean, I guess it goes against being humble. You got to be confident too. You've got to have confidence in yourself. Like, you have to be humble but also be confident. You've got to be humble in, like, accepting other people's advice and understanding that you're not at the highest level yet, but you've also got to be confident and say, you know, I believe in myself and I believe that I can make a difference.
Influence.
You've got to have bravery. You've got to, you know, make sure that you're, you know,
you got to be able to, like, step up and stick out. Like,
like, you've got to set yourself apart. Like, you can't be
just be
the same.
Be proud of it too. Like, don't.
I mean, if you're leading people and you're not confident in what you're saying, then how are they going to trust what you're saying is true?
Yeah.
If you can't confidently say it, then why are they going to want to follow you?
For sure. And, you know, part of being confident is and being humble at the same time is you've got to understand that we're not trying to impress anybody, but you can still be confident. Like, you're not doing this to impress people, you know, like, let's not try to, Chad Beach said it this way, let's not try to impress people. We got to try to inspire the people. Like, you're not doing it for their approval. You're doing it to make a difference. And, you know, really, like, honestly, nobody's really going to be impressed when you're just starting and when you're at, like, this low level. If you're trying to impress somebody that's, like, a mentor to you, like, nobody's really going to be impressed. You've got to, like, understand that you're not doing this to get impressions. You're doing this because you want to make a difference, and that you want to get to the highest level of, like, hey, this is what I'm called to do. I want to do it at the best level I can. It's not, you're not trying to impress anybody.
All right, I think it's time.
Icebreaker time.
Icebreaker. We
No,
need to make like
no, Icebreaker.
No.
Icebreaker. Yeah, you're right.
We need to make like a theme song for Icebreaker.
Yeah, we can,
like, it's like the Family Feud thing. Like,
all right. As a child, like a little kid, what was your dream job? Until you realize that that's probably not going to happen.
Definitely being a pro athlete.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure that.
Growing up and watching, like, Russell Wilson and, like, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, all those guys, you're like, that's what I want to be.
Yeah, they're getting paid millions to
play football. Like, you want to, like, you're in the backyard, like, you know,
like OBJ,
acting like you're that guy.
Yeah.
I think mine was a pilot because my family flew a lot, like a lot, because my dad used to work for the airlines.
Yeah.
And I just always saw, like, the pilots flying and stuff, and I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like another common one is a doctor, because everyone hears about how much money they make, but no one knows about, like, the college you have to do for that.
I feel like everybody wants to be, like, a doctor, like an engineer, a lawyer, like,
business,
the president. Everybody was like, I want to be the president.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying those are, like, bad jobs, but
go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got to be,
like you said, you got to set a standard.
Yeah. Hey, part of that, I mean, dream big. Set a standard for yourself, but understand also, like, you know.
Well, I mean, I also did kind of want to be a soccer player when I used to play soccer, but then I quit. But then I found out like the percentage of people who become pro athletes, and I was like, that's when my bubble got busted, and I was pretty sad.
It's like everybody's like watching TV as a kid, and like those guys are on TV. I want to do.
Sorry
that.
if we ruined some of y'all's dreams. Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening, and we just told you that only 1% of every athlete makes it to the professionals. Actually, I think it might be less.
Yeah, they're calling 1% jobs.
Millions of athletes in the world, and
there's
only. I mean, in the NFL, there's only like.
100 people on a team,
there's 53 on a team times 30. That's like 1,500 players.
Yeah, so
1,500 football players in America,
and there's 50 states with thousands of schools in them,
and even college.
Yeah, think about how many college players there are compared to NFL.
Yeah, you've got to be like a dog.
Yeah, but if you think you can do it, then
hey,
go for it.
We'll root for you.
Yeah.
Just remember us when you get famous.
Yeah. Seriously.
Nah, I'm just kidding. All right. Well.
Anything else we got today that anybody wants to? We've got some big announcements coming up soon that we're not going to make yet, but
yeah,
we've got some big things coming up. You guys
soon.
better be staying tuned because we've got some massive news.
Yeah, we've
coming up here pretty soon, guys.
We've grown a lot very fast, and it's all thanks to y'all.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. We really appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we're making some noise, and we've got some big things coming up. So stay tuned. We're gonna have an opportunity for you guys to see us live. And
all right, we were actually gonna do this episode outside, but
we almost did outside, but the wind was a little too loud. But
and then Gabe almost broke a chair.
Oh yeah.
He sat down and went.
Almost cracked it. But yeah, we've got. I won't say when, but we have 2 potential live episodes.
Yeah,
for you guys, and also, I mean, not just that, like, and it could be more if other people ask us. Like, we're not gonna say no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys just stay tuned. It's gonna be coming up here pretty soon, and we're gonna have some meetings, and then we'll post it all out there. But we're excited.
Hop on for the ride.
Yeah, and join us. Make sure that you guys are following us on all of our platforms, and
don't forget to answer the poll.
Poll.
Avengers or Justice League?
Or Justice League.
Do we have any shout-outs?
Shout-outs?
Always Chris Flake. Always
Chris Flake. Shout out to our listeners in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
At Soul Youth. So, actually, they're going to be playing that video this week.
Yeah.
We have some friends in Maryland that listen to the podcast, and we absolutely love that. Some friends of ours, and they're about to plug us with their youth group, and we filmed a little video, and we're excited about that. And
Live Church, right?
Yeah, Live Church.
Go check them out if you live in Maryland.
Yeah, Salisbury, Maryland. If you're in the area, go check them out. But shout out to them.
I have a special shout out for someone, and it's Lane Whitman.
Oh, yes. Lane.
He's such a great guy.
Listens to every episode.
Yeah. Gives us feedback.
He texts me every week.
Yes, every week.
And that's the thing. Like, that's what makes it like, we're doing something.
Yeah.
It's like all the feedback we get from you guys. Like, we love you guys.
That's the reward in all of it.
And Lane has just been such a great leader to look up to. Like,
And
I swear he's always at the church.
He is.
Like, I swear.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's always helping somewhere.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to Pastor Caleb Sowell. He's always texting us too.
I just had lunch with him actually.
Yeah, we got some
you guys. We got some guests that we're gonna try to be getting on here pretty soon because we're over a month in. This is episode 5, guys.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Dang.
I didn't even think about it.
So yeah, you guys be on the lookout because we're just getting started and just hop on for the ride. And we've got some stuff that we can't wait for. So
it's only getting better,
and it's all because of you guys. You guys are pouring it in. YouTube, you guys are blowing us away.
Yeah.
On the YouTube and everybody else too. We're just really excited and love that we get to do this.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was episode 5.
Episode 5.
Hope y'all enjoyed it.
Hope y'all enjoy.
Make
Don't
sure
forget, like and follow.
Yep, following us on all platforms at 412 Leadership. Stay tuned because big things are coming, and just remember, #RealTalk.
Yeah, real talk.
Real talk. All right, love y'all.
See y'all later.